Hey guys, we are back with some more of Wolfsburg Wolves franchise mode, and in this one we are going to be going through the last year of the Wolfsburg Wolves GM mode in NHL 19. And this offseason is going to be a big one because we obviously only have one more year left, and it's pretty much cup or bust for us as we continue on to the draft. We also have the contract of Sebastian Niederberger coming up. He's probably going to want at least $12 million, I'm guessing. And then the Stanley Cup champions are the New York Islanders, and the Calder Cup goes to the Toronto Marlies. But we also, another interesting situation is that we also have the contract of McLeod coming up. And McLeod last offseason only wanted around $1 million, $1.7 million actually. And Edmonton wins the lottery, very nice. But this year, he's now an 86 overall going into the offseason, so he's going to want a substantial raise. And we have contracts like Provorov, Lindholm coming up, Jost, Albrecht. It's going to be a very interesting offseason, and I have a plan for it. And the plan is, once again, we're going basically cup or bust. So any possible change we can make, we're probably going to make it because we have 1 year left. We got eliminated in the first round last year for the first time ever. And if we were to go into this upcoming year with this almost the same exact roster that we had last year, I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. I mean, obviously, we do well in the regular season. We've been in the playoffs, I think, each year of the past 8 years. But the thing is, we haven't really made it back to where we were. I believe it was in year number 6 when we made it to the Stanley Cup final, or year number 5 when we made it for the first time. I'm not exactly sure which year. I think it was year number 6. But anyway, we haven't made it back there since, and it's just seemingly gotten a little bit worse each year. So we desperately need some sort of huge change within this organization, and that is what I'm aiming to do here in this upcoming free agency period. So as we go through the retirements here, I'll show you guys all the guys of note, Clefbaum, Ellis, all these guys here. Will Butcher. And then as we go down to goaltenders, Korpisalo retiring, Gillies, Vanacek, Sen, that's about it. So we're here at the draft, but before we go into the draft, we're going to check the awards. So the Stanley Cup obviously goes to the New York Islanders, and the President's Trophy goes to the Montreal Canadiens. The Clarence Ice Camel Ball goes to the Vegas Golden Knights, and it was Vegas versus the New York Islanders in the Stanley Cup final. And the Art Ross goes to Jack Hughes of the Montreal Canadiens. Hart goes to Jack Hughes of the Montreal Canadiens. Norris goes to Kylington of the Sharks. Lady Byng goes to Hughes. Calder goes to Zinger of the Minnesota Wild. Conn Smythe goes to DeMeo of the New York Islanders. Vezina goes to Gainey of the Islanders. Jennings goes to Gainey of the Islanders. Masterton goes to Amonte of the Lightning. Selke goes to Hughes. The Lindsay goes to Hughes. And let me guess. Yep, Jack Hughes gets the Maurice Richard. So we're here at the draft, and we're not going to be making any trades here. We're just going to use all of our picks. We have 7 picks, 1 in each round, and I believe each belongs to us. So we'll just take, I think we'll take this medium elite goaltender. I mean, not that we really need him, but he's the most valuable. And I don't think there's anyone else that really interests me up here. You got a top 9, top 6, top 6, top 9, top 9. Yeah, no one really that good. There's Nico Kuka. I mean, he looks pretty solid. He's a 6'5" two-way forward, and he's got A's for shooting and puck skills, B's in senses, physicality, and defense. So he actually looks pretty solid. So you know what? I think we'll take Nico Kuka here. He's got a fun name to say as well. So welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves, Nico Kuka. He's a 72 overall, not too shabby. And now we may as well draft for values. So first we had Nico, now we got Nicolas Dawes, the defenseman, going 84 overall according to Central Scouting, but we're going to take him right here because the next time we pick, he will likely not be available. So, confirmed selection, welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves, Nicolas Dawes. He is a 56 overall. Got him for the trade value, obviously. I mean, again, not that we really need it, but yeah, just kind of cruising by here in this last draft of this GM mode. So we may as well just get Cohen Wiseman as well. Welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves. 48 overall is Wiseman. Now let's get a guy who might be a medium elite in Rick Sterling. He's an offensive defenseman going 124, and we are coincidentally picking 124, so we will take him. And there's no one else really left of value, so we'll just take these low elites. Tim White, the gem, low elite defenseman, offensive defenseman, 46 overall. And we'll go into round number 6. Take the other guy who was a low elite, Kalle Jacobson. Welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves. 49 overall, low elite sniper. And going into round number 7, once again, we'll just take whoever is the best on the board, and that will be, of course, starter goaltenders in Olvestad and Lutz. We may as well take Olvestad. He's ranked higher. And there you go. 57 overall, medium starter on the Wolfsburg Wolves. Not that we really needed another goaltender, but there's the end of the draft. So welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves. Kuka, Dawes, Wiseman, Sterling, White, Jacobson, and Olvestad. So we're here in the re-sign stage. I've already gone through and signed all the prospects who need to be signed at this offseason. Otherwise, they become free agents. And we have a lot of forward prospects, as you can see here. I mean, look at all these guys who we offer contracts to. Grabeshkov, Janssen, Makinen, Sawyer, Kolp, Yakupov. We really don't need guys like DeMarchi and Tatacek anymore, so we're just going to release them straight to free agency. We don't even really need them for their value because they're really not that valuable at this point in their careers, so we'll just release them. And now our big RFAs, we have Niederberger and McLeod. And then UFAs, we have Provorov, Albrecht, Jost, Lindholm, Biaka, and Kuparainen. So Kuparainen's interesting because we actually drafted him a couple of years ago in the 6th round, and it looks like he may be NHL ready going into this year, which is huge because we need as much cap space as possible. So we're definitely going to be signing Kuparainen as some depth. He may even fill in on the 4th line depending on what happens because, again, want to have as much cap space as possible going into free agency so that we can make any big moves that we really need to. So as a result, we're also going to be releasing Biaka, and I think we're going to release Lindholm as well. Because I don't see him, he's not worth that at this point in his career. He's 37 now, he's got that top 6 potential. That might drop even further, and that overall as well might drop. So Lindholm, you've done us well here, bud, but it is time to go find yourself a new team, or maybe even consider retirement, depending on what you want to do. So there's still Jost, Albrecht, and Provorov. So Jost wants 3 years at 1.8. Now, here's the thing. Jost has kind of been in limbo with us for the majority of the time that he's been here. So I think we're going to be releasing Jost. He was solid last year, but again, I want as much cap space going into free agency as we can get. Now, Albrecht, unfortunately, does not want to re-sign, and he wants 3.6 over 2 years. If we were to want to get him at this stage, we would have to overpay him by at least $800,000, I would say. We'd have to go up to 4.5 for Albrecht. I just don't know if he's worth that. We'll hold on to him for right now, but again, I just want to have as much flexibility going into July 1st as we can get. Now, Provorov, he's a different story because he actually does want to sign, and he's still an 86 overall, so he could still be a useful player. I'll offer him 1 year at 7. We'll go down to 7.3, and we'll see if he takes that. Now, RFAs, Niederberger and McLeod. I'm kind of not looking forward to this. I mean, we do have a lot of cap space at the moment, but that's going to go away quickly once we offer Niederberger and McLeod. It's currently at $35 million. But what does Niederberger want? Yeah, he wants 12.3 over 5 years. What if we take him up to 8? 15.7. Oh, boy. All right, so what about McLeod? McLeod, if we take him to 1 year... Okay, good. So I think another 1 year bridge deal is the way to go for McLeod because the difference between a 1 year contract and a 2 year contract for him is like $2 million plus. And there's only 1 year left in the GM mode anyways, so we may as well just give him 1 year. And he'll still be an RFA after this, I'm pretty sure. Because, yeah, he's only been pro for 4 years so far. So, yeah, he wouldn't have enough experience to be a UFA at that point. And he also wouldn't be old enough to be a UFA. So we're just going to take him to 1 year at, we'll go, let's say 6.1. 6.1 for McLeod. That sounds good. Now, as for goaltenders, there's Denis Papin And there's Saros and Franzen. We're going to release Saros because he wants 2.4. We cannot afford that, especially with the big contracts coming up. We'll definitely sign Franzen. And I'm not sure about Denis Papin. I might tender him just to see what happens going into free agency, because I definitely want to sign him if we can, because he was very solid for us last year. .919 save percentage in 25 games. He obviously didn't play in the playoffs, but nonetheless, he was a solid backup, and I would like to hold on to him if we can. So, now going back to these guys, yeah, I don't think we're going to have enough money for Albrecht. I definitely do not think we're going to have enough for him. Now, Niederberger, I wanted to sign him to 8 years, but he's just asking for a little too much. So I think we're going to go down to 6 years, and we'll take him to, I might even just give him what he wants at 5 years. Yeah, that's going to have to be we need to save as much money as possible, because anywhere we can upgrade with this team, we have to do it. We absolutely have to do it. So I'll take him down, since we're giving him the amount of years that he wants, I'll take him to 12 mil for 5 years. And with that, with all those contracts out of the way, let's sim a day and see what happens. There's Franzen. There's Provorov rejecting, so he's not content with the amount of minutes that he played. All right, that's understandable. We'll offer him again, see if he would accept anything, maybe like 7.4, because I think we offered him 7.3, did we not? Grabeshkov accepted, Yakupov, Kolp, all these rookies. McLeod accepted, Janssen, Niederberger accepted, that's good. Kaparainen, yeah, all these guys. All right, so we're down to 18.9 now. That's still with Provorov and Albrecht on the board. I believe everybody else, and Denis Papin as well, but everybody else besides those three has signed. So I really want to get Provorov back. We'll give him 1 year at 7.4. Hopefully he signs for that. Now that would take us down to 11.5, I believe. If I could get Denis Papin for cheap, like let's say 1.8 for 1 year. If I could take him down to 1.75, that'd be great. And Provorov rejected once again. All right. So Provorov might be a little bit of an issue. Denis Papin also rejected. But it was just he wasn't getting enough money. So I'll give him, I think, well, you know what? I want to get Provorov signed first. I'm not, you know what? We'll give him the amount of years that he wants, but we'll take him down to 7.4. Yeah, we'll give him the amount of years that he wants in order to potentially save some money for this year. So offer contract, we'll give him that, and I don't think there's any way we're affording Albrecht. I mean, we could technically afford him with the amount of cap space we have right now, but once again, I want to absolutely have as much as possible going to free agency. So I think we're going to release Albrecht here. You've done us well, bud. I'm going to miss all the air punctets with you in the playoffs, but the amount of money you're asking for and the amount of money that we're going to have to give you to overpay to keep you here just isn't really worth it. So go find yourself a new team. I mean, we might end up signing him in free agency. You never know, but right now, just not worth it. And Provorov rejected once again. Alrighty. I'll give him exactly what he wants at 7.5 for 2 years. Hopefully not much more than that. Rejected. Yeah, it's the minutes that he's upset about. Alright, so we might have to overpay him a little bit, which I really don't want to do too much of here. I'll take him down to 1 year at, I'll go 7.7 for him. Rejected once again. Alright, so we might actually have to end up going after him in free agency, or just making a trade to acquire a new defenseman, because it doesn't look like he's signing here, at least not right now. So we're going to release him for right now, and I think with Denis Papin, if I could get him 1 year at 1.9, I would do that, but we're also going to have to tender him, just so that we don't lose. Hopefully he accepts that. I made a slight goof there. I should have tendered him first. Let's see what happens. And he rejected. Rats. Alright, whatever. He wasn't that big of a piece that, you know, losing him is that detrimental, but, yeah. So now, instead of re-signing Ivan Provorov, because he's just costing way too much at this point, and I saw what he wanted out of free agency. He wants like 8 mil. I don't think we're going to be able to do that with the moves that I have planned. So what we're going to do here, we're going to be trading for Jacob Chychrun at 50% of his salary, and it makes perfect sense for the Coyotes because they are currently a rebuilder. As they take a look at their roster, I mean, they really do not have much. They have in goal nobody at the NHL level. On defense, they have, of course, Chychrun, but then after that, they have Battaglia, Korais, Pettersson, Samson, McMuffin, the 74 overall, then 79, 81. It's really not looking good over here in Arizona defensively. And then offensively, they have a couple of studs here in Afanasenkov, White, and Keller. But after that, it kind of drops off as well. They have the medium elite prospect Pouliot. But yeah, it looks like they are in rebuilding mode here in Arizona. So we're going to take Chychrun off their hands, and as well as a second round pick for our elite goalie prospect, Clarence Hood, who is a 78 overall. It looks like he might be able to jump into the NHL starting next year. It makes perfect sense for them to trade for a young and upcoming goaltender that we don't really need, to be honest. We still have Calle Rodin. We have that medium franchise goaltender in Franzen. We're trying to get Denis Papin back from free agency, so this makes sense for both sides. Hood for Chychrun at half his salary and a second round pick from the Arizona Coyotes, rejected. So, yeah, they're not keen on giving up the amount of salary that we're asking them to give up. So we'll take off the second and we'll just go Hood for Chychrun at half his salary, straight up proposed trade. Really? Okay. And now let's give them Jaffray, the 66 overall, 19 years of age defenseman, prospect of ours. He is an offensive defenseman. They are obviously pretty weak on D, and they're rebuilders, so it makes sense for them to trade for a prospect. So Hood and Jaffray for Chychrun at half his salary. There you go. So we are unfortunately going to need to make a couple of other cap-clearing moves, and one of which I'm not really excited about making, considering the risk involved in it. Now, the risk is that there is an absolutely huge free agent that we are going after, and I think trading these two guys will, if we can get that guy that we want, we'll make it worth it. If we can't get him, then we are definitely looking a lot worse. But the thing about this season is that it's cup or bust. We're going to take every risk that we can in order to get that cup. So we are going to be trading Aaron Zanetti and Cam Weiss. This is a lot of cap coming off the books. For Aaron Zanetti, it's almost $6 million coming off the books, and for Cam Weiss, it is 9.3. And the reason we're trading Weiss, he had a decent season last year in terms of point scoring, but where he struggled was defensively, which is very odd for him. And the thing is, again, with the player that we're getting from free agency, or potentially getting from free agency, I should say, losing Cam Weiss and Aaron Zanetti will make it worth it. So we're going to be trading these two to the Buffalo Sabres. As they're a contender, it makes sense that they want them, and they have some cap space available. So what we are going to be getting back from the Buffalo Sabres is a first, a second, and well, actually I'll take Washington's second, and then a fourth. And then as well, Demetrius Butland. He is a 73 overall, 18 years of age center playmaker. It looks like they just drafted him, and they want to give him up, so we'll be taking him back in this deal. So I think, actually, we might be able to squeeze that other second out of them. So first, 2 seconds, and Butland for Zanetti and Weiss. That is the deal, because they want to give up all this. They want both Zanetti and Weiss. And again, yes, there's tremendous risk involved in this, but if we can manage to get those free agents that we're after, it'll be all worth it. Proposed trade accepted, not too much to deliberate on this. Thank you for all you have done, Cam Weiss and Aaron Zanetti. You will both be missed for sure, but we had to make some changes going into this season because, once again, we were eliminated in the first round, and I don't feel comfortable. I wouldn't have felt comfortable going into next season with the exact roster that we had. That just wasn't happening. So as we take a look at free agency and the guys that we have approached, so far we have approached this guy Stanislav Kapitanov, 85 overall, second line forward. He is exactly what I'm looking for in that he has speed, he has strength, and he has body checking. And he'll be a very good penalty killer. And our penalty kill hasn't exactly been fantastic over the years. So I think this guy will really help out a lot. His takeaway to giveaway ratio is pretty good. He gets at least 100 hits per season. He's a pretty decent blocker as well if we're forward, and he can get around 30 points. And he'll be on our if everything plays out the way I expect it, he should be on our third line. We offered him 4.9 for 3 years. So he's basically Aaron Zanetti's replacement, but he's a much more gritty Aaron Zanetti. And he's, as we can see here, he played on the penalty kill. He's much better on the penalty kill. So, and again, that was an area that I wanted to address going into this offseason. And I think if we could get Kapitanov, then that will definitely help out our penalty kill in a tremendous way. Now, as for goaltenders, we just went after Denis Papin once again. We signed him we're going to attempt to sign him to a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. And the last guy that we are going to go after, we have not approached yet, because I wanted to build up the hype. So, we have nearly 30 million available in cap space, and there's a very good reason for that. And his name is Jack Hughes. Well, you might say, why do we need a center? Well, we just traded away Cam Weiss. And 2, he can also play on the wing. Look at his speed at that 99 speed, 3-bar 99, of course, so it's not for sure a 99, but it's more than likely in that range. And, he's not much of a physical player, obviously, but that offensive awareness up there at 99, poise is up there, discipline, puck skills are great, the shot is great, and as we take a look at Jack Hughes' stats, come on. This is unreal. I know we're going to be seeing a lot of him in NHL 20, but you can't deny, when you have the opportunity to take this, and when you've been failing year after year in the playoffs, and you see someone like this, yeah, you're going to go after him. You're definitely going to go after him. 56 goals this past year, 63 the year before, 59, 48, 54, 59, 56, 68, 66. This guy, consistent at least 50 goal scorer, at least, and then you're guaranteed at least 80 points out of him. We haven't had anybody like that in a long time in Wolfsburg, at least in terms of raw skill and talent. Obviously, that's not to say that we don't have skill, because we do in guys like Niederberger and Aho and Homer and Mayer, but this guy, Jack Hughes, is just on a completely different level. And we haven't had regular season scoring like this, I don't think, ever. Because we're obviously a playoff-built team. But by acquiring Jack Hughes and with all the moves that we've made so far this offseason, if we can acquire Jack Hughes, that would completely change the image of our team. And I think that's exactly what we need going into our cup or bust season. And as we take a look at his takeaway to giveaway ratio, that's not half bad either, with 153 to 47. So that is what makes up for losing Cam Weiss in that trade. We will definitely be offering Jack Hughes. He wants $17.4 million for 6 years. We'll give him that. We'll give him, I would say, just to be sure that we get him, we'll give him 18.25 for 6 years. There you go. Jack Hughes has been offered, and yeah, we're about to, if we can manage to sign Jack Hughes, we are seriously changing the entire image of our franchise. So it's been an insane offseason already, and hopefully those trades that we made, well, mainly the trade to Buffalo for Weiss and Zanetti, pays off right here. Come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. Come on. All right, there's Denis Papin. Hughes. No. Jack Hughes rejected. And Kapitanov accepted. No. Vancouver gave him 0.02 more than we gave him. 0.02. 20,000. They upped us by $20,000. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. Look at that defensive core. Come on. How are you gonna get Jack Hughes, who's 30, probably looking to win a cup, when you give him a defensive core like this? How are you gonna do that? You don't even have a goal. You don't even really have a goal. All right, fair enough. You do have Klimi. Klimi is pretty solid, as we all know. But still, come on. You're gonna do this? You're gonna do this to me, game? You're gonna do this to me? You know what? We're trading for him. I don't care. It's the last year. We'll do whatever. So here, let's give them Dawes. We'll give them Wiseman. Just giving them whatever. We'll give them Conacher. I know, it's a lot. It's unrealistic to trade for someone right after he signs with another team, but come on. Do you realistically think that Jack Hughes, for $20,000 more would have signed with a rebuilding team like the Vancouver Canucks over the opportunity to win the cup? Come on. That's not realistic at all. So we're just going to see if this works. Dawes, Wiseman, and Conacher for Jack Hughes to the Vancouver Canucks. Proposed trade accepted. There you go. All right. So it worked out for us. We had to cheese the system a little bit, but whatever. Again, it's the last year. And we're just really having fun with it at this point. So welcome to welcome to the Wolfsburg Wolves. Jack Hughes took a little bit of negotiating to get him. Took a little bit of giving up assets, but you know what? That's fine. Once again, I really could care less about those guys because we got ourselves Jack Hughes and we saved him from the Vancouver Canucks, who, let's be real, they're not winning the cup. Their defensive core is nowhere even close to NHL level. And their goaltenders, besides Klimi, is questionable. I don't know how Viking stat is. Yeah, it looks like he's terrible. An 890, really? You're going to use that guy in front of Jack? Yeah, no, that's completely... Just no. That's not happening. That wasn't happening on my watch. I saved him from the Vancouver Canucks, and he is going to help us win the cup. And one more trade that we do need to make, because we are obviously pretty sure in terms of centers. I think Hughes is going to play the wing alongside of Aho and Niederberger on the first line this year. That's right, Niederberger moving up to the first line finally. And that leaves McLeod as our second line center. And then Beck, he's more of a winger, because if you take a look at his faceoffs, they're at a 68, and his faceoff history in terms of his percentage, I mean, it's really just not there. His highest percentage is at a 39.88. Not having that. So then our next center after that, Antropov and then Grabeshkov, none of these guys are playing in the NHL. So we're going to need to get another center, and that would be from the Anaheim Ducks. And we're going to be getting Jack Roslovic out of the Anaheim Ducks here. He is pretty solid. He's on a one-year deal for $2.17 million. And he had 23 points last year. He had a decent giveaway to takeaway ratio. Good amount of blocks. 93 hits. Good face-off percentage. Makes him the perfect candidate for either a third or fourth line center, depending on where we want to use him. And I think, yeah, I want to retain 50% of his salary to the Anaheim Ducks, and we will be giving Anaheim this guy, Culp, who is a 71 overall, top 6 forward, who we just signed, but he's been in our system for a while. Only a 71 overall, already 20 years of age. We need every little bit of help that we can get. So Culp for Roslovic for half of his salary. There you go. So now as we take a look at our roster as it currently stands, we have Rodina, Denis Papin in net. And then defensively, we have Kuleshov, Chychrun, Emerson, Ludman, Bohinski, and Ho. And Ho will definitely be playing this year. And for forwards, we have Hughes, Aho, Niederberger, Mayer, Homer, McLeod, Kapitanov, Beck, Goddard, Stahlberg, Roslovic, Hansik, and Kuparainen. And then potentially Blomqvist, depending on how it goes. So here we are at the start of the final regular season with your Wolfsburg Wolves in year number 14. Let's check out our lines. So the first line, Jack Hughes with Jörg Aho and Sebastian Niederberger, the two Germans with the 96 overall Jack Hughes. That is an ideal first line. Second line, Todd Mayer, the takeaway master with Rob McLeod and Maddox Homer. So our top 6, pretty filthy. Probably the best top 6 in the game. Third line, Stanislav Kapitanov with Frederick Stahlberg and Sean Beck. And then the fourth line, Alvin Hansik with Jack Roslovic and Garrett Goddard. And on defense, we have Kuleshov and Emerson. And then Bohinski and Ludman. And then Chychrun and Matt Ho. Power play, Hughes, Aho, and Niederberger. Pretty much the 5-on-5 lines replicated with Kuleshov and Ludman. And then the second line is Mayer, McLeod, and Homer with Bohinski and Beck. Four-man power play is basically the same. Penalty kill is Aho, Kapitanov, Kuleshov, and Emerson. And then it will be Roslovic with Mayer, Chikrin, and Ludman. Well, actually, do I want Kuleshov on here? There's Chikrin, Ludman, Emerson, and then afterward is Bohinski and Ho. Yeah, I want Kuleshov on here. And then we have Aho, Kuleshov, basically the same thing. And then Aho and Mayer with Kuleshov and Emerson. And then you have Hughes and Niederberger with Bohinski and Ludman on the 4-on-4. 4-on-4 continued. McLeod, Homer, Chikrin, and Ho. And then the 3-on-3 is Aho, Mayer, and Ludman. I want that righty up there with the two lefties in Aho and Mayer. Then Hughes and Niederberger with Bohinski. And then McLeod and Homer, they're both righties, so I put them with the lefty Kuleshov. And now extra attackers, Hughes and McLeod. Shootout, Hughes, Niederberger, Aho, Kuleshov, and Mayer. And in goal we have Kalle Rodina, Danny Papin, and Scratch currently is Matti Kuparainen. And we'll use him if we get any injuries. We unfortunately don't have any defensive depth, but hopefully we'll be able to go most of the season without it. If we need to at the trade deadline, we'll get some defensive depth. But for right now, I think we're okay. But we obviously have quite a few new players, so we're going to check out the new jersey numbers. So there's Beck, Aho, Hughes is 86. I made sure to give him his current 86. McLeod, Roslovic is 28. Kapitanov is number 60. Kuparainen is number 21. Chikrin is number 6. And there you go. So unfortunately, Ken Emerson has been injured with an injured shoulder till December 18th, and we don't have any depth on defense, so here is where we may need to make a trade. So the trade isn't going to be for anyone too good here because it's not too long of an injury. It's only for, I think, about a week or so. But we're going to get this guy some backup. So Hebert, get on there. We're also going to be retaining 50% of his salary because we can. And going the other way will be Weimer. Oh, actually, they'd be under the league salary cap. So we're going to have to take a little bit of this off. We'll go down to 33%. Hopefully that is enough to keep them over the minimum. And it is. So we'll put Weimer back on there, and that should go through. Weimer for Hebert at 33% of his salary. Proposed trade. Trade accepted. Very nice. So we can now temporarily get Hebert in there. And he's now back. Take Hebert out and get Emerson in. Welcome back to the lineup. So here we are, end of the regular season of year number 14. Post-trade deadline, we went 11-7-1. Jack Hughes with 99 points. We are 51-27-4 on the regular season. Goals for per game stayed pretty consistent all year, 3.38. Goals against per game went up gradually as the year went on, but it's still one of the lowest in our division with the 2.67. Power play stayed consistent all year at 23%. And penalty kills stayed consistent for the most part at an 81.6. So I really can't complain too much. Last 10, we are 6-3-1. Away, we are 29-9-3. And at home, we are 22-18-1. Player stats, Hughes with 99 points, 48 goals. Niederberger with 97 points. That's by far his best season. But again, you might be able to attribute that to playing with Jack Hughes. And Aho with 86 points. I believe that is his first point per game season. And yes, it is. So once again, another area where Hughes helped out. Beck with 52 points. Kuleshov with 51. I believe that is definitely the highest amount of points he's had in a while. Yeah, it's the highest amount of points that he's had since 2025-26. So that's quite a while that he's had that many points. Mayer with 48. Homer with 44. Kapitanov with 44. McLeod with 38. Bohinski with 35. Ludman with 27, Roslovic with 27, Hansik with 26, 20 goals as well on the fourth line. Stahlberg with 23, Goddard with 23, Chikrin with 16, Ho with 13, Hebert with 11, Kuparainen with 8, Emerson with 8. And on faceoffs, Aho with 55%, Hughes with 52%, Roslovic with a 49.5, McLeod with a 49.2, and Stahlberg with a 47.8. So I definitely want to keep Aho and Hughes separated for the playoffs to start out because we win more faceoffs that way. Hits, Aho, Kapitanov, Niederberger, Homer, Stahlberg, Roslovic, all over 100. Emerson is basically at 100 with 99. Hughes with 92. So even for a player who normally isn't that physical, he had over hit per game for us, 52, 40. And of course, he has 100 hit seasons in his past. So with us, he upped his physical game. Kuleshov with 123 blocks, and leading forwards Kapitanov with 32. Takeaways to giveaways: Hughes, Mayer, Beck, all phenomenal. Aho could be a bit better. Roslovic could be a bit better. Same for Kapitanov. Niederberger's good. Goddard's good. Homer's good. Hatzik's good. Stahlberg could be better. McLeod could be a lot better. 28 to 48. My goodness, that is a bit brutal. Emerson 27 to 79. Chikrin 25 to 51. Ludman 23 to 57. 21 to 52 for Kuleshov. 17 to 42 for Ho. 16 to 64 for Bohinski. 13 to 23 for Hebert. And 8 to 11 for Kuparainen. And fights: 16 for Frederick Stahlberg. 10 for Ludman and Hebert. 7 for Emerson. 5 for Kapitanov. 3 for Hughes. 1 for Aho and 1 for Chikrin. So our team loves dropping the gloves for whatever reason. And in goal, a 911 save percentage for Rodin and a 913 for Donnie Papin. So a little brutal there, especially to end the season. But we're in the playoffs, that's all that matters. And Kalle Rodin is usually pretty solid in the playoffs. Last year was the exception to that. He, of course, last year did not have a great save percentage during the playoffs. I believe it was like an 890 something, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 897 in 7 games. So hopefully this year, Kalle Rodin can step it up after not the greatest regular season. And here we go. We are in the playoffs against the St. Louis Blues. So let's check out their lines. Have we ever faced St. Louis in this GM mode? I think we've probably faced them at least once, just given how long it's been going on, but maybe not. I definitely don't recognize this lineup. So definitely not anytime as of recent. So the first line is Aiden Rintoul, Akil Thomas, and Essa Salmelainen. And then the second line is Louis Triff, Emmanuel Tiran, and Raphael Bellemare, the 91 overall. Third line, Jean Duchesne, Emmanuel Leclerc, and Nicholas Corey. And the fourth line, Ralph Perez and Robert Thomas with Jonathan Fox. So this is definitely a much different lineup than what we are used to seeing with the St. Louis Blues. I believe the only real-life St. Louis Blue on this roster currently is Robert Thomas, and everyone else is either generated or don't think, Akil Thomas was not taken by the Blues. So, yeah, a lot of different faces here in St. Louis. And on defense, they have Ivan Solovyov, the 91 overall, and then Mikhail Mayarov. They love their Russians apparently here on defense. Well, actually, Solovyov is not Russian, sounded Russian. Jack Sloan is also here with Dallas Cashman. And then Nathaniel Sereda with Andy Roach on the back end. So Mayarov and Solovyov, definitely pretty solid. But after that, drops off a little bit with 82, 82, 81, 80. So maybe we can expose them a little bit there. But let's see their goaltender. They have Cody Koliakovo with Jacob Petrov. And scratch, they have Kalle Rodin, apparently. The center, Kalle Rodin with an H, also from Sweden. So I'd be pretty concerned if that was Rodin without the H, because then that would be, that wouldn't be fun. And then Andrew Delmas is also scratched. 85 defense, really? So you got to think that Delmas is in there as an 85 overall defenseman who isn't injured. And if he's not, then St. Louis better have a good reason for keeping him scratched, especially since they're paying him $8.9 million. My goodness. Yeah. Better have a really good reason for having him scratched if I was the St. Louis Blues. But we're not. We're the Wolfsburg Wolves, and we're going to get right into this series against them. They are 40-35-7 on the regular season. We are 51-27-4. And we obviously learned our lesson with the Vegas Golden Knights, because that was honestly around the same record that the Vegas Golden Knights had. So you never count out a team in the playoffs, because anything can happen. So here we go. First game of the first round, first period. And that'll be a goal by Maddox Homer on Koliakovo, coming in the clutch. And that is a very sharp angle that he scored from, especially as a righty. That is pretty tough. Second period. There you go. I'll take it. Rintoul with the goal on Rodin. But then air punk test Sebastian Niederberger on Koliakovo from the same angle that Maddox Homer scored, just on the opposite side of the rink. My goodness. All right, here we go. Third period. We're up by 1 get some more shots on net, and maybe, if you want to, 1 or 2 more goals. That'd be great. As we go through the third period, there you go, Jack Hughes with a goal on Kolyakovo. Come on, give me one more. No, Sal Malainen, that's why I wanted one more. Come on, boys. Give me one more, Wolfsburg, and I'll feel comfortable. Not much time left in the game anyway, and Sean Beck with the empty netter. That'll do it for game number 1. We win by the score of 4-2. 3 stars of the game, Beck, Hughes, and Niederberger. Going into game number 2 now. And let's hope for more of the same. Maybe a little bit more of a cushion, though, going into the third. That'd be nice. First period, there you go. Hensick and Beck with the goals on Kolyakovo in the first period. Shots are 10-13 in favor of St. Louis, but the score is 2-0 in favor of your Wolfsburg Wolves. Second period, that'll be 2 goals for St. Louis. Delmas and Thomas, so Delmas is in there. But Matt Ho on Kolyakovo to give us a 3-2 lead. So we are taking a 1-goal lead into the third period once again. Let's hope we can get one straight out of the gates here. That'd be nice. Come on, Wolfsburg. Get me some shots on net. Get me something in the net, preferably. Power play for St. Louis. 5-on-3 goes nowhere. Ludman shorthanded on Kolyakovo makes it 4-2, but it's Solovyov, their star defenseman, on Rodin. And it is getting down to the wire here. Coming down to the late in the third period. Can we hold on? Yes, we can. We hold on for the 4-3 win in game number 2. Kapitanov, the third star of the game. Ludman, the second star. And Beck, the first star of the game. So we're looking pretty good so far. Not going to give my professional analysis because we all know what happens when I do that. So we're going to go straight into game number 3. Not saying anything. And not changing anything either, because we've scored 4 goals in each of the past 2 games. Let's hope that continues. First period. Yes, there you go, boys. Stahlberg with the hat trick. Oh my goodness. Frederick Stahlberg, the absolute madman, gets a hat trick in the first period of game number 3. What a way to start this game. I believe that is the third line center getting a hat trick. Keep in mind, that's something Stahlberg barely does. He barely scores at all. But Stahlberg with the hat trick in the first period. Unreal. Let's go. Second period. Yes, boys. There you go. Kapitanov with the goal and Hughes with the goal to make it 5-0. And that is what I'm talking about when it comes to a lead in the game and in the series for that matter. Because I don't see St. Louis scoring 5 goals here on Rodin. Oh, hold on. Shut up. Rintoul and Duchesne on Rodin. Come on now, don't mess with me here, EA. And there we go. Alright, just had to make sure it was completely over. We win by the score of 5-2. Had a little bit of a scare there early in the third period, but not too much to worry about, thankfully, in the long term. Third star of the game, Kapitanov, second star Beck, and the first star of the game, Frederick Stahlberg with the hat trick, the natural hat trick in the first period. So yeah, we're up 3-0, not too much to worry about. Let's just head into game number 4, no questions asked, and let's just preferably take care of business right here and send it back. And first period, that'll be a goal by Leclerc for Rodin, or a goal by Leclerc on Rodin, but then the second period happens and Rintoul scores on Rodin, and then Denis Papin in there on the third goal against Bellemare. Not good. So hopefully Rodin doesn't have any kind of long-term injury, because he's done pretty well for us so far here. So unfortunate that Denis Papin is in there now, as I don't think the assistant coach would take out the goaltender after only 2 goals. So hopefully, again, it's only a minor injury. As we get through the third period here, I'm not too sure if we're going to see any... All right, there's Jack Hughes. That's why we got him, but then Rintoul on Denis Papin. So yeah, this is looking like St. Louis's game. That's fine. We have the previous 3, so we're still up 3-1 even if we lose this game, which is looking very likely at this point. And yes, we lose 4-1. 3 stars the game are Rintoul, Kolyakovo, and Solovyov. Again, that's fine. We took the first 3 games, not too concerned about it, but we definitely do not want to take this to a game number 6 on their home ice. So let's end it right here on our home ice in game number 5 and just move on to the second round, not worry about any injuries that might happen. First period, oh my goodness. Thomas and Bellemare twice on Rodin. So Rodin's in there, so he wasn't injured long term, but my goodness. St. Louis is starting to turn it on. We definitely don't want to give them any more than what they've already had. Come on, boys. Second period. Oh my goodness. Robert Thomas again. The veterans coming through for them. And the star power in Bellemare. Can we have a miracle comeback third period right here? I don't think so. It's not looking likely. Power play, nothing doing. Bohinski with the goal on Kolyakovo. All right, that's a start. Get me another one. Now. Nope. Triff on routine. Yep, we're going to game number 6. We are going to game number 6. Oh my goodness. What a meltdown that we've had in the past 2 games. Come on, boys. You gotta be better than that. 3 stars of the game are Bellemare, Kolyakovo, and Thomas. So, going into game number 6, we've been outscored 9-2 over the last 2 games. I might want to make a line change here. And I think have Hughes and Aho done on the faceoff. So Hughes only has 3 goals at the moment, no assists, but he does have a 58% on the faceoffs. What about Aho? He has a 62.34. I don't know if I can separate them just because they're both doing phenomenal on the faceoff dot right now, but at the same time, our scoring dried up in those last 2 games, and we definitely need to get something going there. Stahlberg is at 39% on faceoffs. What about Roslovic? I might want to play, even though Stahlberg had that hat trick there in that game, yeah, I think I want to play Roslovic a little bit more, so I'm going to put him on the third line just because he's winning those faceoffs. Let's have Hughes, Aho, and Homer on the first line, and then Mayer, McLeod, Niederberger. Let's just try anything here, to be honest. And yeah, I don't want to mess it up too much is the thing, because we won those first 3 games, but the losses in the past 2 games kind of nullified them, because if we lose this one, we're going to game 7 and anything could happen in a game 7. I really do not want to go to game 7. So here we go, game number 6. First period. Nothing. I'll take it. 8 shots to 8. We are even in all aspects right now, it seems. Second period. Oh, man, we're really even. Rintoul with a goal on Rodin, but Bohinski on Kolyakovo. So 1-1 going into the third. Shots are pretty much even. And they're even now as we get a couple of shots on net there. And not much going on here in the third period. Come on, Wolfsburg. Get something done. Bellemare on Rodin. No. Please don't do this. Beck! Sean Beck with the goal on Kolyakovo. 5 seconds left. And we are going to OT in game number 6. My goodness. What a way to force overtime. And here we go. Face off. And what the heck is going on here? Those are not our jerseys. Hello? What? What? Those are not our away jerseys. Those are definitely not our away jerseys. I mean, they're the All-Star team jerseys, which I would like to think we're an All-Star team, but, what? Okay. Huh? Homer with the puck. Dumps it in. I can't focus on the fact. I can't focus on the commentary just because of the fact that we are wearing the NHL All-Star Team jerseys instead of our actual jersey and Rintoul. And oh my goodness. Oh, you gotta be kidding. What was that? I'm not even talking about the goal. What? How? Huh? Those aren't our alternate unis. Our alternates are the German flag. What the heck happened here? I mean, nice goal by Rintoul. I don't know what our defense was doing. I mean, they're just, they just slowed down for him and he let him right in, and I don't know what went on there, but I really don't know what's going on as far as our jerseys go. What happened? What happened in the game to make it do that? I honestly have Atlantic All-Stars. What? Excuse me? Excuse me? The Atlantic All-Stars? We're not even in the Atlantic Division. Okay. Cool, EA. Glitch of the year. Glitch of the year. What in the world was that? Alright, well, at least we're not the Atlantic All-Stars here on this screen. What was that, man? I have no idea what happened there. That is just beyond my comprehension. I have no idea what could have even happened in the code for that to in the code of the game for that to happen. I have no clue. Anyway, we're going into game number 7, and there's not really much that I want to do because we tried those changes and they worked defensively, but not really offensively. So we're just gonna have to hope the sin is on our side, and yeah, what? Oh, this freaking game, dude. Well, there you go. That wraps up NHL 19. EA, do you see this? Do you see this nonsense? Oh my goodness. I was just recording for 2 hours. 2 straight hours of this nonsense. We go to a game 7. First of all, we go to a game 6 overtime where all of a sudden the Atlantic All-Stars, and now this happens. Yeah, right. Give me a break, EA Sports. NHL 20, where are you? So, unfortunately, autosave did not do its job, meaning we had to simulate an entirely new season, because the last time I had saved was after we had gotten the likes of Jack Hughes and Roslovich and all those guys. So, yeah, this season was much different than the one we just experienced. We went 46, 30, and 6 instead, so a little bit worse of a season, but we still made the playoffs. And Jack Hughes with 86 points, Aho with 72. We're just going to do a quick rundown, and then we're going to get right to the playoffs. I figured there's no point in wasting your guys' time with another season simulation. Niederberg was 71, Kuleshov with 61, McLeod with 61, Mayer with 57, Homer with 50, Bohinski with 40, Beck with 37, Kapitanov with 34, Roslovic with 27, Goddard with 21, Stahlberg with 20, Ludman with 19, Ho with 19, Chikrin with 17, Hansik with 15, Emerson with 11, Kuparainen with 9, Hebert with 3. He didn't play for us at all, though, because I made sure to trade for him around the same time that I did before. I made sure to do almost everything exactly the same, and the difference was we had a lot more injuries in this simulation, a lot of minor injuries, and then Blomqvist with 3 points in 16 games played. And faceoffs, Hughes, Aho, Roslovic, all above a 50%. McLeod could be better at a 46.6. Stahlberg at a 46.3. Hits, Homer, Aho, Kapitanov, Niederberger, Emerson, and Roslovic all over 100. Chikrin was close with 99. Blocks, we have 114 for Ludman, and for Kapitanov, 31. He leads forwards. Takeaways to giveaways, yep, Hughes, Mayer, Beck, all the guys we expect to be up there are up there. And in goal, Rodin with a 916 save percentage, and unfortunately, Dunny Papin with an 897. So Rodin was in there for the majority of the games, 71 games played. Yeah. So this season was a little bit rough, but we luckily made it. And as we check the team stats, we scored nearly as much as we did in the previous simulation. We had 3.2 goals per game, and goals against per game was around the same, 2.68. Power play was around the same, 24.7, and our penalty kill, again, around the same, 80.1. So, not really too many differences, besides our record and the amount of points everyone scored. So, we're just going to get into playoffs here, and this time we're not facing the St. Louis Blues. We will instead be facing the Chicago Blackhawks. I did save this time around, so if anything happens again, we'll leave off right here, and hopefully we don't have to go through that again, because that was that entire sequence from having the Atlantic All-Stars as our jerseys up until the crash was very weird. So now the Chicago Blackhawks, let's check out the lines. Now, as we saw earlier, in free agency in this episode. Taro Alto went to free agency, so he might not be on the Chicago Blackhawks anymore, and he is not, but they instead have Kaapo Kakko. So a little bit of a winger swap there. So first line, Oliver Wahlstrom, we remember him, how good he was for the New York Islanders back at the start of NHL 19, and Alex DeBrincat, and then Kaapo Kakko. Second line, Magnus Pressberg with Gaspard Burrows and Abel Matvechuk. Third line, Jesse Ilonen with Daniel Grolo and Nikolai Bobkov. And then Pierce Hunwick with Andrei Kvasha and Gavin Carnes. And on defense, they have Zach Tanev with Vyacheslav Zhekov. Second pair, you have Brandstrom with Payet. And third pair, you have Newberry with Honka. And in goal, you have Hugo Dupre and Kelvin Farmer. So no matter who they have in net, they have a pretty good goaltender. They'll probably go with Hugo Dupre, though, because they won the Cup with him in his first year. 16 wins in the 2028-29 season. So there you go. They're the Blackhawks. Let's get right to it. Not going to waste too much time here because EA already wasted a lot of my time by crashing the game. So here we go. Game number one. Going to go through this pretty quickly here. First period, and that'll be a goal for Chicago. Kvasha on Rodin. Second period, and that'll be a goal for Beck on Dupre. Third period, I'm just going to sim this one, and that'll be a goal for Jack Hughes on Dupre. I just want to get to game number 7, or however long this one is going to go. I want to get through at least the first 3 games pretty quickly so that, we don't have to spend too much time because we already technically went through a round number 1 against the St. Louis Blues. But now against the Chicago Blackhawks here in game number 2, Kaapo Kakko will score on Rodin, and then Matvechuk on Rodin as well. Second period, oh my. They get 4 goals before we get our first with Beck. Third period, oh my. Oh wow. 5-5 tie. Kapitanov, McLeod, Erpunk Yorgaho, and then Tim Bohinski on Dupre. Pressberg for the Chicago Blackhawks on Rodin, but we make it 5-5 going into overtime. Okay, we'll watch this overtime. We made it very interesting in that third period with that comeback. Here we go. What are we gonna do? And that'll be a goal for Chicago. Bobkov on Rodin. So the comeback was not completed, but we put up a good effort, and unfortunately, good efforts don't win you the Stanley Cup. So we have to give it a better effort in game number 3, especially not going down by 4 goals. That would definitely help here in this first game on our home ice. First period. You hate to see it. Tanev, Pressberg, and Kakko on Rodin, but then Jack Hughes on Dupre. So Hughes versus Kakko here in this series. Second period, oh my goodness. Bobkov and Matvechuk, and then back on Dupre. Not looking good so far. Third period, we'll do the slow sim. I think we've gone far enough with just doing the quick sim. Come on. Please, Wolfsburg, have another comeback in ya. Do you have another comeback? It doesn't look like Jack Hughes. Hold on. Jack Hughes on Dupre. Anyone else? No? All right. 5-3 loss. And we are down, I believe, 2-1 in the series at this point. So, kind of unfortunate, as we did have a 3-0 series lead in the previous series against St. Louis, but we all know what happened there. We had to go to 7 games, but the game 7 never actually happened, so yeah, it's hard to say if we would have won or not, but St. Louis definitely had the momentum. Berlin player injured, and as we go into game number 4, we have to hope that someone other than Beck or Hughes can come alive here. First period, especially our goaltending. Oh my goodness, DeBrincat and Burrows on Rodin. Second period, not looking good. DeBrincat again on Rodin. And as we go into the third period, we need yet another comeback here. Power play, nothing doing. Power play for Chicago. Kakko on Rodin. I would rather go up against the St. Louis Blues again. I would rather be in game number 7 against the St. Louis Blues right now in triple overtime than doing this. Yep. 5-0 loss against the Chicago Blackhawks. Pressberg and Kakko in the third period, and we are now down 3-1 in this series. Oh my goodness. Let's see. What line changes can we make? I'm going to put Hughes on the wing and then Aho back up here. And defensively, yeah, we got to change something up defensively, don't we? I'll put Ludman with Kuleshov, and then Chikrin with Emerson, and then Bohinski and Ho are going to have to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to take Ho out, and we'll put Hebert in there. We got to do something to get these guys going, and then Rodin with an 867. That is unfortunate. Unfortunately, I don't trust Denny Papin enough this season to put him in there, so we're just going to have to roll with Rodin and hope for the best, because we're down 3-1, and we're just looking for anything at this point. So here we go, game number 5 in Chicago, and we really desperately need this win, because if we go out in the first round again in this last year, and the way that it happened too, with all the EA nonsense, that would suck. First period, there you go. That's what I like to see. Hunwick on Rodin, but then Niederberger, Erpunktet Sebastian Niederberger, and Erpunktet Yorgaiho, and Erpunktet Sebastian Niederberger once again on Dupre. So the Germans coming through in the clutch in this first period, second period, and that'll be a goal for Wallstrom on Rodin, just the guy we don't want to get hot, as we've seen in the past from him in this game. He is capable of just lighting it up. Third period. Come on. Karn's on Rodin, and we're all tied. No. Please not like this, Wolfsburg. Please not like this. Get me a goal, Wolfsburg. Power play. Power play. Oh, my goodness. 7 minutes left. What can we do? Will anything happen here in the rest of this period? Nope, we're going OT. All right. Well, let's see if we're the Atlantic All-Stars again. And what? Oh, what a fail. EA. Seriously? For a second time? Oh my goodness. Aho gets it from Jack Hughes. Kuleshov from the point. Sends one wide. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I'm wondering. Is, if after this game, is it going to crash again? Because we are technically the Atlantic Division All-Stars right now? Oh my god. Whatever. Now Bohinski with the shot, and that'll go just high. Hughes on the boards for Bohinski with the shot, and Bohinski scores! And the Atlantic Division All-Stars are now still in this series with a 3-2 not series lead. Of course, the other team is leading 3-2, but we're still in it. Alright, please no crash. Please no crash. Oh my goodness. I swear, if you have another crash for me, I'm done. That entire sequence messed me up. Alright, here we go. Should I save? No, I'm gonna just in case it crashes, I'm not gonna save, because if I save and it crashes here, let's be honest, it's gonna crash again. So simulate, here we go. What do we have? Knew it. I don't know what to do. You know what? So it's a good thing I saved at the end of the regular season before. So we're gonna go back to that series against the Chicago Blackhawks, and I'm gonna do a little test. If we go into a game against the Chicago Blackhawks, and I'm not even talking about just from the sim, I want to see if the game, for some reason, recognizes us as the Atlantic Division All-Stars. So I'm going to go into a game here, and I'm going to play it. Now, you see our jerseys there. Now, if we actually go into this game, what happens? Okay. So it looks like that only happens whenever we go into an overtime. Or maybe even a third period. Who knows? But it looks like if we go into it as a CPU, that might be it, honestly. So I'm going to reset the game. And what we'll do, we're just going to have to not go into any overtimes, because apparently EA wants us to be the Atlantic Division All-Stars. And when that happens, the game crashes. So, yeah. Alright, here we go again. Game number 1 of round number 1. Oh my goodness. Here we go, first period, and that'll be 2 goals for Chicago. Pressburg and Hunwick. Second period, there you go. Niederberger, Erpunktet, Sebastian Niederberger, and Erpunktet Yorgaho, and then Jack Roslovic on Dupre. Alright, here we go, third period. And once again, since we're not doing any OTs, we're doing everything in the sim. We're going to do our ×8 routine of doing the slow sim and just seeing what happens throughout the rest of the games, because I'm not doing that again. the Atlantic Division All-Stars thing, and then the crash, yeah, we're not doing that again. So, luckily, we won game number 1 here. Rodin, the third star of the game, then Roslovic, and then Aho. And going into game number 2 now. Let's get to it. First period, nothing doing. Second period, and there you go. Air Punktet, goal by Jorg Aho. That is what you'll like to see. Third period. Come on, boys. Come on, Rodin. Yeah, Frederick Stahlberg on Dupre. Just moved my my windscreen there, but there you go. Third period over. And we win 2-0. And third star game, Aho. Second star, Dupre. First star, Rodin. So Calle Rodin, in this part of the simulation, doing much better than he did in the first simulation against Chicago. So, you know, I can't really complain. We're up 2-0. Maybe you might be able to put an asterisk on it since we only had 2 wins in that previous series compared to Chicago's 3. But let's see what happens here in this game number 3. First period. All right, I'll take it. Capo Caco and Jack Hughes score. Rodin, and then on Dupre, respectively. So, Hughes and Caco, that rivalry definitely still alive here in this series. Second period, and that'll be a goal for Chicago. Hanka on Rodin. Third period. Man, those crashes really got me off my commentary game. I can't even focus right now. All right, come on. Please, Wolfsburg, get me something. Oliver Wahlstrom on Rodin makes it 3-1. Do we have a comeback in us? Late period comeback. Come on. Jack Hughes, Jorg Aho. Nope, okay. We lose 3-1 in game number 3. Could be a lot worse. We're still up 2-1 at the moment. Going into game number 4 now. Open for a W here, obviously, because if we don't, then it's not looking good. First period, oh my goodness. It is definitely not looking good. DeBrincat, Tanev, Grollo, and Pressburg back to back with goals on Rodin, and then Jack Hughes on Dupre. Second period, all right, we made up ground. Pressburg on Danny Papin now in there, and then Air Punktet, Jorg Aho, and Jack Hughes once again on Dupre. 2-goal mountain to climb. I guess it's not a mountain, it's more of a hill. So Jack Hughes with the hat trick, I believe. Especially when you have Jack Hughes on your team. It's not really a mountain. Come on. Maybe another one. Give me another one. Power play. Power play. It's a long one. Nothing doing. Chicago power play. And it's another long one. Nice kill. Another Chicago power play. Nothing doing. And we lose this game 5-4. Yeah, we let up a little too much too early. That was definitely the case here. 3 stars of the game. Niederberger, Pressburg, and Jack Hughes with the hat trick. Unfortunately, the series is tied. Going into game number 5. And let's hope the Atlantic Division All-Stars can get back on our feet and hopefully win this game in Chicago. First period, that'll be a goal for Chicago. Legwand on Rodin. Second period, oh my goodness, Bobkov on Rodin. Third period, they're leading in shots, almost double, 27-16 at the moment. Come on, Wolfsburg. Come on, Atlantic Division All-Stars, get me something. Oh no, get me something. Get me some. Don't go down 3-2 again. Please don't go down 3-2 again. We are going down 3-2 again. This is not good. Legwand, Rodin, and Dupre as the 3 stars of the game. So Rodin isn't even doing that bad besides that previous game, but in this current game, Rodin didn't do too bad. His offense didn't show up for him. We can't have nice things in this GM mode. We just can't. I mean, we have a very good team on paper, but for whatever reason, we just can never figure it out. So Homer, get on that first line. I probably should have done that anyway before this series started. And we'll get Ludman up on that top pair. We'll get Chikrin over here with Emerson, and then Bohinski with Ho. We're just going to try anything here. Stahlberg up here. We got to hope for the best and hopefully get to a game number 7 here. Here we go. First period, nothing doing. I'll take it. Second period, and I'll go for Chicago. Wahlstrom on Rodin. Not what you like to see. Third period, Wahlstrom again. Oh my goodness. I really don't want to. No, please don't go out like this. Bohinski with the goal on Dupre. There you go. Come on, I still have hope. Power play for Chicago. Nice kill. get something, anything. Yorgaho, Jack Hughes, someone. No. Ah, what a terrible way to end this series. What a terrible way to end off our tenure with this team. Oh my goodness. We go 13 years. 12 years. We go 12 years without being eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. And now we go 2 years in a row of being eliminated in the first round. Oh my goodness. It's probably for the best that we're moving on. Because I'm just not sure what to do with this team anymore. Because we went all out. We went cup or bust. And it's clearly bust because, you know, we went out and got the best player in the game in Jack Hughes. I mean, Yorgaho, he's been solid. Timbo Hinsky's been pretty good as well. Niederberger, Mayer, Emerson, Beck, Capitano. We have a solid roster. We just, for some reason, ever since we started actually making changes to our team because we weren't winning in the playoffs, we started losing even more in the playoffs. So, just, I'm not sure what to do. Yeah. Rodin had a pretty solid save percentage, but it's for the best if we're moving on here. So, that'll be about it. It's always tough ending series off. You know, obviously, Niederberger, we'll never forget the Germans of this series. Niederberger, Aho, Albrecht, and Sebastian Grief, the AHL legend. And guys like McLeod, Stahlberg especially, takeaway master Todd Mayer, Maddox Homer, Alex Kuleshov. They left a lasting impact on this team. Kalle Rodin, Thatcher Demko, Corey Schneider, all those guys. Great Wolfsburg Wolves. And can't forget Alvin Hensick, the continuing the Hensick lineage on this channel. But yeah, it's just this team, for whatever reason, we couldn't get it done. We just couldn't get it done. I felt like even those teams that made it to the Cup final, you know, we were obviously built for the playoffs. We were a team built for the playoffs, maybe up until this year. And we still, even adding in Jack Hughes, could not get it done. So yeah, it's for the best that we're on our way out here of this GM mode. So with that, I'll leave you guys off here. So I'll see you guys in the next one. And NHL 20 cannot come soon enough.